and Nancy Pelosi believes Joe Biden should be put on Mount Rushmore. I'm not kidding. There's something about the clip from Nancy Pelosi that sums up the desperation of today's Kamala Harris supporting Democrats. I'm still not 100% sure they're going to stick with her. They still might do a bait and switch at the convention, which is just, 2 weeks away. But we are a couple of months from the election, and I am convinced that they are in such a tailspin that they send poor old Nancy Pelosi out on national television and suggest that Joe Biden should be added to Mount Rushmore. I kid you not. Here she was on CBS's Face the Nation.
Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Even Leslie Stahl couldn't believe the idiocy of that suggestion that Biden should go up on Mount Rushmore because he stepped down in utter disgrace as a failed, incompetent, infirm, addled old man who let them pull the rug out from under him. What audacity she has. Can you imagine Biden, if he's capable of understanding what was said on a news show like that, reacting to hearing Nancy Pelosi pretend that she thinks he ought to be carved into Mount Rushmore after she helped with the coup? They overpowered him. They overtook him. They convinced him to step down so that people can be excited about Kamala Harris? I mean, they're in bad shape. One of my sons last night called me and said, "Dad, should I be worried about these polls?" I said, "What polls? The polls that show that Kamala Harris is up by 0.5 percentage point in Michigan? The polls that show they're in a dead heat, that Kamala Harris isn't in the same arena. She's not in the same league as Donald Trump. He's off filling arenas, getting interviewed by gamers with millions and millions of young people, winning over black voters, appealing to Hispanic voters. You really think Kamala... I don't want to be cocky. I get it. And I always worry about being too complacent. I don't want to be overconfident. But come on. There is no universe where Kamala Harris wins. There just isn't. And if this is the best they've got right now with the honeymoon period, that she's neck and neck, wink, wink, with Donald Trump, go look at polls that ask people about the economy and illegal immigration and the state of the world. She can't hold a candle to what Americans believe about Trump's ability to turn this economy around and seal the border and put out the world fires. It isn't even close. I'm telling you, hearing Nancy Pelosi suggest that Joe Biden should be put on Mount Rushmore tells you everything you need to know about their level of desperation and hysteria. They are in hysterics. They don't know what to do. They're going to do their best. They're going to rob, cheat, steal. They'll do everything they can. Then maybe they'll bring back COVID. Oh my gosh, COVID's on the rise. Oh my Lord, what are we going to... Let them try it. It isn't going to work this time. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. 1-800-655-MIKE. I want your voice front and center on this Monday episode here in the Relief Factor studios. Did a little staycation, got a lot of work done around the house. It was good just to disconnect for a few days. And for a change, I managed to time my vacation so I wasn't gone during huge events. I mean, of course, we had the hostages released on Friday where Biden literally climbed onto an empty plane. Did you see that? Did you see how bad that was? I mean, it was a total crap show, and it was, frankly, hilarious. Biden wandered around on the tarmac. He's saluting nobody. Then he got on the plane that had brought the American prisoners home with the Secret Service and even Kamala looking at him like, what in the heck are you doing? She can't speak on her own. She can't put two sentences together without sounding like a complete bumbling idiot. That's the metaphor for all the world to see. So that's what I missed last week. Biden climbing up onto an empty plane, maybe thinking he was going to get to go for a ride. John's in Clearwater, Florida. How much flooding did you get in Clearwater, John?
It was not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Nice and soggy.
Yep, I hear you. Me too. So what's up?
Well, I just got a question, and I know it's a campaign slogan and everything, but maybe you can explain to me how the Democrats are going to save democracy.
Well, that's easy. I can do that. They're going to commit a coup, remove the presumptive nominee, Joe Biden. They're going to install a woman who hasn't gotten a single vote from anybody in America. They're going to pretend to be excited about her, and they're going to do everything they can to lie, cheat, and steal their way to another victory on November 5th. That's how they're going to save democracy. Does that about sum it up?
Yeah, I guess. I was just wondering if you had specifics on how to.
That's their version.
It's a great campaign slogan, but I was just curious.
Well, I mean, that's the irony of there's the ultimate gaslighting. That's about as silly as Nancy Pelosi. That's about as stupid and ignorant as saying Joe Biden ought to be on Mount Rushmore. They're going to tell us, they're going to lecture us about saving democracy when they have installed Kamala Harris, a person who hasn't gotten a single vote from the American people to be president of the United States. Not one. When she ran in a primary, she got 3%. She is arguably the most unpopular vice president in American history. And she's who they're excited about? Yeah, you keep running with that. Watch the polls as we continue to hear more and more from Kamala Harris. Did you see the clip over the weekend on social media about the cloud? Check out what she once said about the cloud at a seminar on technology. This is who they're excited about.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? It's no longer in a physical place.
That's who she is, okay? They know it, I know it, you know it, and that's why we're going to win November 5th.